OBS.
Check it's recording.
I know.
Check the Wi-Fi.
You know, when you make up your own names for things, I honestly don't know what you're talking about at first. Hey everyone, welcome to Kokoto Drive.
I'm Effie.
And I'm Leo. And this is...
Hi.
I'm Rose from Simply Rose.
And today we're doing a collab video, which is really cool and fun and interesting.
And it's our first collab, so that's gonna be awesome.
I'm so excited.
Alright. So
So why don't you start us off, Rose?
So today we're talking all about the anime, and we're going to be talking about classic anime in the past versus what we think might be classic anime now, right? That's what we're doing.
yep.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So Lee and I already talked about it a little bit by ourselves, and we had a little bit of a debate. So I think that the whole thing will be interesting.
I promise we didn't do like the whole conversation without you though.
Yeah.
I had the conversation with myself, so.
I'm glad we're not alone then.
Alright.
I guess I could already start off by pointing out the obvious and saying Death Note is always going to be a classic. It's already considered one.
Death Note. There's always the Death Note versus Carlisle. Ah! There's always like the
fault.
Death Note versus Code Geass debate, which I'm not gonna get into now, but I would also say that's another like classic. I don't know, it's lesser known though. Because people that don't watch anime still watch Death Note.
That's right.
But I was thinking that for the future, one that's definitely gonna be a classic is gonna be Sword Art Online, no matter how bad it is.
I feel like Boku no Hero Academia has like a strong potential. It's like a shonen, and third season coming out. Yeah, so like people are getting pretty hyped. So I think that's a strong possibility.
Did Yuri on Ice have a huge following?
Oh my god, don't even talk about that.
Like, would that be considered?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
See? I'm glad I said something then.
I feel... Because I feel like it's not an anime that really like everyone can enjoy. I feel like it might not be considered a classic in that sense because there's a lot of like debate over whether or not people like it and stuff. So I feel like it could, like, it's one of the ones that could be a classic for some people.
I don't think it'll be a universal classic because it really just appealed to like fujoshis and like people that are into like shonen ai or BL yaoi. That was like the main audience mostly that enjoyed it. So I don't know about that one being a classic, but it definitely was popular.
It did win Anime of the Year thanks to Crunchyroll.
It won like all of the awards last year thanks to Crunchyroll.
See, so I felt dumb for saying that at first. But...
It was the Yuri on Ice Awards.
Are there other anime? What?
Yeah. Another good one that came out recently, like just this year, was Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, that one's really recent.
Yeah. That one was so good. You haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But just, it was so different. I was so shocked when the ending came around because I did not see that from this anime at all. I was just blown away.
I've heard enough to where I could honestly make the assumption that, it might be in the running, but I'm behind. I am sorry.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either. Reaction of the anime community, I feel like, tells me enough about it that I'm like, yeah, that could definitely be a classic right now.
Honestly, like, and it's not one of those ones, like, Re:Zero was really popular when it came out, but it didn't last, you know? People talked about it for a little bit, and they enjoyed it for a little bit, but no one's talking about it now. But I feel like Devilman Crybaby will be something that people talk about for years.
Like, it's crazy the reaction. Like people were loving it, people were hating it, but also still loving it. Like even like the artists already, like the artists are coming out with so much merch and fan art and stuff.
That one's definitely an emotional roller coaster, and I think that one will have a lasting impression for a while.
Is it more or less of an emotional roller coaster than Clannad?
That is hard to say. It's definitely more of a roller coaster than Clannad. Clannad,
Really?
it takes you in a solid direction. You kind of know where it's gonna go.
I feel like it's just like the fact that there's like been such a long wait and stuff, but like even non-anime watchers like enjoy this, but like Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan is a good one. I
Oh, that's true.
definitely think that will be a classic for this generation. Like the new Naruto, almost. Because it got so popular and so many people have watched it.
Or are they gonna turn it into a shitty live action movie?
They have actually. They've already done that.
They have?
Yeah,
What?
they have. Yeah, you don't want to watch it?
Oh, I never planned on it. No, I would never do that to myself. There's not enough self-loathing in the world to get me to do that to myself.
Oh, they already did a live action movie and it was terrible. Are you surprised?
Yeah, I feel like regardless of how long the wait is for it, like people are still so hyped as they are. Like no one's like, oh, it's so long, I hate this show already, like I can't stand watching it anymore. It's like every time it comes back, everyone's like, oh my god, it's so good.
That is a good example of this series that people are just like not going to forget. I don't know how good of a childhood memory that would be, watching people beat stuff though.
It's a great childhood memory.
I mean, in Pokemon, all they had was like the saddest thing was like the Charmander left out in the cold and his flame almost went out. Like
They cut a lot of the dark stuff out of Yu-Gi-Oh though.
out of Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They can't even do that for this series. Like, and the thing now is with streaming, we don't have something like for kids.
Have you watched The Made in Abyss?
I have not watched Made in Abyss yet, but I've heard that one's really
I
good.
don't think it could be a classic, but it's just one of those ones where, well, maybe, I don't think it has enough yet that could make it a classic, but it just reminded me of Attack on Titan in the sense that, like, it would emotionally scar you, because it looks like it's for kids. It's so cutesy and fun, and then, like,
Oh my
things go
god.
down.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of one I think would be a classic. Yako Garashi.
Yako Garashi. That one's old though. That one came out.
Like, isn't it considered a classic now though?
It's not considered a classic, I don't think. It's kind of niche, actually.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched that.
Yeah, I haven't met a lot of people that know that one or have watched it. But the people that do watch it very much enjoy it.
Hey, I liked it. It was fucked though. I was not expecting that.
I feel like, wait, did we talk about Yu Yu Hakusho?
Hakusho? Have not yet. That's by the same guy that wrote Hunter x Hunter.
Is it really?
Yeah.
A lot of people would also consider that a classic, I think.
I do consider that a classic, but I honestly consider Hunter x Hunter more of a classic because it's more widely known and I liked it better.
And you liked
Oh, you know what we haven't talked about yet?
What?
Kimi no Nawa. Her name. I think that one is definitely gonna be a classic.
Got snubbed. Boss Baby is way better anyways, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. That one definitely is gonna be a classic, I think. 'Cause it's like Spirited Away, you
Yeah.
know? People,
that's
and like Totoro. We'll always remember that.
Yeah.
Spirited Away was also the next one I was about to say.
Oh, Spirited Away is already a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's gonna be a forever.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you don't even have to like anime to really watch it and love it. And
Especially because it's dubbed, and a lot of people like have watched it and not know that it was anime. I remember I taught two kids, they were brother and sister, and they talked about how they liked One Punch Man and how they liked Spirited Away and Totoro, and I was like, oh, you like anime? And they're like, what's anime? So like, that's the great thing about Ghibli is with the dubs and like how accessible it is out here. You don't even know it's anime.
Yeah, I feel like when you're a kid though, you don't really realize what it is. You're like, oh, it's just a different style of cartoon.
Right.
But then
Basically.
you like slowly learn. You're like, anime, amazing. I love One Punch Man that has the the potential to be a classic.
I honestly liked Mob Psycho better than One Punch Man.
A lot of people I feel like Mob Psycho a lot better, but I feel like it depends. Like I thought I would hate One Punch Man. I thought I'd hate it, but I actually really enjoyed it.
I don't think either of those had enough of like a following to become classics.
Yeah, I feel like, well, like One Punch Man, I feel like a lot of people still joke about it now and stuff.
Right.
But like, not a lot of people are like, ah, I miss One Punch Man. Like, when are we gonna get a second season?
It became a meme, and then after that, it just kind of like died off. An
Sort of
ad.
lost.
An ad.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk.
I don't know how to pronounce it. An ad. That one's a good one. I think it's old enough now to already be considered a classic, right?
And the after
I
story.
haven't watched it yet.
The After Story came out in 2008, so it's a decade old.
Oh, don't make me think about that.
And then I think the first one came out in like 2006. That was one of the first ones I ever made him watch, and he bawled his eyes out like 3 times.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, a lot of people keep telling me to watch it, and then it makes me not want to watch it because I'm like, don't stress me out. I'll watch it when I want to.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good one, and I think it's a good starter one into the slice of life like genre
Oh,
of
definitely.
anime, because people usually start in shonen, which is why most of the classics, quote unquote, are like shonen anime.
Yeah.
But I think that's like a good classic per se, on the slice of life side. That one and Toradora. Those are the first two I ever watched, and I didn't think that I would like slice of life anime before that. They were my gateway drug to anime slice of life.
I can't remember which ones I watched first. My slice of life. I feel like Say I Love You and Blue Spring Ride were a couple of my first.
Really? Say I Love You is not one that I would have expected.
I don't know how I started watching that out of instead of like. I feel like I just didn't get into slice of life until like later on. When Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, I didn't like Full Metal Alchemist really. I did like Full Metal Alchemist.
Both definitely.
Oh, they're definitely classic. I think
Yeah.
wasn't Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on the top of my anime list until Your Name came out?
Yeah, I feel like Full Metal Alchemist was like, it doesn't go with like Pokemon and stuff, but it goes more to the nostalgic because it kind of sucked, but like I still loved it when I was like younger, so definitely think it's a classic.
Oh, I think Your Lie in April. I totally forgot about this. But that is definitely a
Is that-
slice of life
That
classic.
is slice of life?
Yeah, it is. No, they only do real life things and have real life events, but it's not a slice of life.
Alright, fight man.
No, that is one that people that like don't watch anime watch. Because that was recommended to me by a friend that didn't watch anime. So I was surprised.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard. Well, it's not hard, but it's harder, I guess, for slice of life to become classics. Just because I feel like shonen really kind of takes the place of classics. I don't know. A lot of people, when they think classic, they don't think of slice of life first.
Right.
But it depends who you're talking to, I guess.
I think that it's because shonen anime has that like escapism factor to it, and usually that's what we watch first when we're younger. It's things that have that sense of escapism and fantasy adventure.
That's usually the things they try to convert to for like child audiences,
Right.
such as Pokemon. That's almost as fantasy as it gets.
Yeah. I feel like for a classic anime in the past, there's like two different streams of like classics. There's like the classics that like even non-anime watchers like watched a lot, and then there's like the actual anime watchers watched a lot, if you know what I mean. Like there's like the like Pokemon and Digimon and all that stuff. Non-anime watchers still watch that, and I feel like it's still like classic anime in the sense that like everyone's like, I love Pokemon, and everyone feels the nostalgic feelings for that. But it's not like it's anime, but it's not like Cody Note kind of thing. That level of anime.
And I think that what makes it classic is that feeling of nostalgia. Like if you look back on it, like 20 years from now, you're still gonna like it because of the impact it had on your childhood, not necessarily because it was good. Like Naruto, looking back on that now, I was really into it.
And all that has become really mainstream to the point where almost everyone could find a memory with all of those. So yeah, like Pokemon especially was the best example you could think of.
It doesn't make it good.
Oh no, but
Like Dragon Ball Z.
or as you said right off the bat.
Oh, Sword Art Online, yeah.
Oh god.
That one's not good, but like a lot of people are gonna watch it and remember it for what it was.
That's accurate, yeah.
Oh, but like looking back on things like even like Sailor Moon. Like I used to rent Sailor Moon on Blockbuster, and now like looking back at it now, I'm kind of like, why did I even like this? Like why did I think that this was good? I don't know.
People are gonna think we're so old now. Blockbuster.
Blockbuster back in the day, yeah.
Oh god.
It's weird watching some of it like back again. I started rewatching Digimon back. I'm like, this is horrible, especially like the dubs. It's like, oh my god, this doesn't match up at all. And it's so bad, but I still love it so much.
Digimon and then Yu-Gi-Oh too.
Oh
Watching
god.
that one back.
You beat me to it. God damn it. I was gonna say Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh,
I was totally gonna say.
Everyone knows Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's just like looking back on it now, it's just so bad.
Yeah.
So bad that it's so good.
But it's only good because you remember it being good from when you were like 7.
Oh, yeah, it's actually funny when you think about all the anime you used to watch like as a kid and how you thought it was so amazing, but it's really like.
You get that same feeling though from going back and playing like video games that you really liked as a kid, and then you realize how horrible they are. So
comparing graphics that you like, I mean, they were amazing for the time, but like them to graphics now, you're like, holy poop, that's horrible.
You look at things from like 2008, like, yeah, this used to be the best thing, and then you look at it now and it's actually terrible.
Another classic that I loved was Beyblade.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yes, how could you forget?
That was one of my favorites too, actually.
You can do it in real life, like.
That was the best part of the series, is doing it in real life. But then I remember I got a Beyblade once when I was like 6 or 7, and I was like, wait, why does it have like a spirit animal inside of it to guide me? Like, why is it not talking?
Like, why does it stop?
It's like the magical, like, aspect of that is taken away when it's taken into reality. I think another factor of it being classic, though, is your age. Like, I started watching Fairy Tail, but I started watching Fairy Tail when I think I was, like, 17 or 18. And then that was just too late for me. Like, I couldn't get into it because that magical factor of it being otherworldly and kind of like that classic feeling just wasn't there for me anymore.
Yeah, I think I watched like 130 episodes or so of Fairy Tail, and then I was like, wait, why am I? Because I feel like as a kid I would have enjoyed it a lot more. As an adult, it's kind of like the same. Like, we'll do this and this and then this and then the episode's over. And let's do it again.
And that's the repetition, I think, really got to me, and I think that's why timing of when series comes out is very important.
That's true.
Because we were exposed to like Pokemon and Digimon and Beyblade and all of that because of like 4Kids. That's what I watched it on, at least.
Yeah. That's where I got all the when I was a kid.
Yu-Gi-Oh! All of that was on 4Kids, and because it was just so easily accessible, it was just a part of my childhood.
Yeah, that's what kind of sparked for most of everyone. The interest was
Yeah.
4Kids and the dubbed versions, which you look back at now and are like, why?
I think as well, there's like the big three.
Oh, yeah.
Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece.
They're all being dubbed and released on 4chan at the same time.
But also Naruto and
Almost.
One Piece and Bleach are also classics for people that are younger than all of us. People that are like still in high school or just recently graduated high school, they still consider those series like Naruto and Bleach and One Piece the series that got them into anime. What's interesting about where the line is crossed of when it becomes classic or when it isn't, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it all just depends on what you watched first. Like, anything could really be a classic for you if you watched it, like the first thing you watched. I mean, people who started like watching way back then, like Sword Art Online could be classics for people. Like right now, yeah, which you said before was classic for right now, which is so funny because so many people hate it.
You think that like what's considered the classics to us will be considered the classics to everybody?
No. I think, like, our region of the world is different than what Japan
Oh yeah.
considers what like, their classics are. Like, I'm sure a lot of people in Japan remember, like, Akira better than anybody over here. They probably still consider that a classic, but no one talks about it over here anymore.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend who lives she lives in South Africa, and I was like talking to her about some of like the classic anime I used to watch as a kid, and she's like, yeah, we used to watch that too, and I'm like, what? Because I just like, for some reason I'm like, oh no, it's just like in the Americas we watched it, like it was on TV and stuff, but like apparently in South Africa, like they had it all streaming, Pokemon, they had like Moomin too, and all that stuff, like streaming one time. Like, that like kind of blew my mind a little. I feel like it was like a dumb thing to blow my mind. Cool to see that it wasn't just like on our side, but like there are still the same kind of classics for people who don't live in like the same side of the world.
And I think with, like, the globalization of anime for other countries, it kind of takes more time for the content to get there than here. So it could be like a different timeline when it becomes like a classic, quote unquote, there than here. And there's also like the anime fan classics. Like you said, Death Note, which yeah, it's always going to be a classic, but it's a different kind of classic. It's not something that you watched as a child that you didn't know it was anime.
So are you saying that classic is necessarily for something to be classic, it has to have roots in childhood?
No, definitely not. But I think that for it to be a classic, quote unquote, it has to be mainstream, and it also has to be like a gateway, like a gateway drug to anime.
I feel like there are different types of classic. Like people just take that word and kind of take it in different ways. Like there are like people who just think classic. Like I watched this as a kid. Like oh, it's such a classic. And then there's like the classic like gateway, like even mainstream kind of thing, like you said. So I feel like it can change depending on who you're talking to. Like some people will say like Pokemon's not a classic. What are you talking about? I will fight you. Yes, it is. So I feel like it depends on who you're talking to and what their definition of classic really is.
I'm dying.
But for the most part, though, what would we all agree that? Yeah, don't die, please. That'd be awkward.
That'd be awkward.
What would we all agree
all
is?
The views though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right. JK, not good to be the second person to do that. What would we all pretty much agree that some classics already are
I think classics for sure would be Your Name,
Goodbye.
Death Note,
Okay, well.
Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online.
It makes me sad, but
The one that we haven't talked about yet, though, was Cowboy Bebop.
Samurai Champloo. Deal. We didn't mention this, but Gurren Lagann.
and then there's like the big three are definitely classics. There's no doubt about that. And then
yeah.
like Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Alright, well.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe because we have a lot of other videos like this one coming out. And make sure to check out Rosa's channel and subscribe to her because she's really cool. And
make sure to check us all out on Patreon, as well as, you know, checking, I don't know.
yeah,
I started out good. I started out good. The sentiment was there. The spirit wasn't.
That's it. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Alright, just...
Boom, 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 boom.